Hi guys, Commerce with Mac here today with another video. In this video, I'm going to explain you 2022 May-June paper 2 7115 completely. I'm going to solve this paper. So I didn't put for a long time about Cambridge videos, and you guys might be angry with me that I didn't upload, because last time I uploaded the October-November 2022 7115 Business Studies O level paper. I completely solved, and that video's description is below this video. I mean, that video's link is below this video's description. So let's move on to this topic. In this video, I'm going to explain you the entire case study about this particular paper. So watch the entire video. If you guys are planning to sit for 2023 exams, then this video will be very helpful, because it is another paper series of May-June. So this can help you out to understand how you should write exams in an exam paper. So let's move on to the today's topic. You all know that paper 2 is a complete 80 marks paper. So you all need to do 4 questions in the entire paper. So before we move on to the case study, I just wanted to show you the question. This is how the paper looks like. Here you can see, explain 2 ways TT could grow. Way 1, explanation. Way 2, explanation. And then we have consider how TT might benefit from the following 3 economies of scale as it continues to grow, which is likely to have the greatest effect on TT's profit. Justify your answer: purchasing, technical, financial. In all these 3 type of economies of scale, which will be beneficial for TT. So that's what they have asked on this question. And then it's a 12-mark question, again an 8 marks. So there are 4 questions on your paper 2. So one question will carry you 20 marks, and out of the 20 marks, 8 marks will be question number A, and 12 marks will be question number B. So explain 2 benefits of TT using lean production method. So you would have learned lean production methods, the easy methods to make sure that production happens in a efficient way. We should have learned. So it can be like Kaizen techniques, just-in-time system, reduction, defect reduction system. So these things you would have already learned. So I'm going to take Kaizen or just-in-time. Let's see what they have given on this question. So benefit 1, why it is good. Explanation, so 1 mark for identification of the benefit. Explaining, you get 3 marks. Benefit 2, then again explanation, 3 marks. So you get 8 marks for this. Then they have given a question: use appendix 2 and other information. Consider TT's financial question. Do you think TT is in a good financial position to expand? Justify your answer using suitable calculation. As you all know that we used to do calculations before we give a complete answer, and I will do the calculation with you all in the paper. So now we move on to the next part. Explain 1 way the information in each chart in appendix 1 might be useful to TT. And chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, chart 4, there are 4 charts they are given, and then they are given using appendix 3 and other information. Consider the 3 applicants for the job of marketing manager of country Z. Who is the best applicant for the job? Justify your answer. Labiba, Shaheen, Samiha, and your recommendation. And then the 4th question about explain 4 effects of training on a business. Why these 4 effects are good. Effect 1, effect 2, effect 3, and effect 4. And then we have consider the benefit and drawbacks of country Z. If TT builds a factory there, do you think the government of country Z should allow TT to build this factory? Justify your answer. So you should speak about the benefit and the drawback and conclusion. Is it better to build the place or not? So let's move on to the paper without wasting much time. Before we move on to the paper, I want you guys to remind one particular thing: subscribe Commerce with Mac channel. Commerce with Mac channel is a YouTube channel which educates students in Cambridge, Edexcel, and also National A level in the context of accounting, economics, business studies, commerce related subject. And also I used to do videos how to earn in YouTube, career guidance program, and then travel vlogging sometimes once in a blue moon. So let's move on to this channel and keep your comments updated. In any videos you want, you can comment under comment section. From today onwards to May June exams, I will be focusing on Cambridge as well as Edexcel papers. So if you all need any papers to discuss, you can put that under this comment section. So let's start today's exam paper. So let's start reading the case study. We have May June 2022, 1 hour and 30 minutes. We should not take more than that, so I'll try to finish it within that particular time period. Let's move on to the question directly. Titanic toys is the case study which we are going to read today. So I'm going to zoom a bit so you'll have a complete view on what I'm going to read. So you also have your question with you and start reading with me and start doing the sum. Whatever the place I'm asking you to highlight those places, because that's important. I'm going to highlight with you. So take a highlighter and start highlighting with me. TT is a large manufacturer of toys based in countrywide. It is a public limited company and has been trading for 20 years. TT's products are designed children up to the age of 5. So now you all need to know that TT is first of all, they give a background of the company that gives an idea about what this company is all about and how we use this company to do our uh, question. TT has benefited from economies of scale. You might know what is an economies of scale. If you can achieve profit by reducing the cost of production as maximum and then increase the selling price, the gap which you create the profit is what we say economies of scale. So they have achieved economies of scale. The company has been able to buy specialist new equipment for the flow production line in its factory. So they have purchased a very good product, and this they are not using job production or batch production. They are using flow production. So now job production is where you are giving a particular product, and that particular product should be specifically designed for particular customers need, like one individual's need. And batch products you produce in batches like bread or uniform, but flow production you produce one product to the entire market and people will purchase that product. So here TT is doing flow production, which means they are supplying to the entire market that one particular product. TT's factory uses lean production methods such as Kaizen and just in time. So it's easy for us to get the lean production, which we already read in the question. It's better to take Kaizen technique or just in time inventory control. All of its employees are well motivated and few leave each year. So there's something a problem in the company. People are leaving each year. We need to find out what might be the reason, but there was no question related to that, why people are leaving. So no worries. The company provides training for employees in all departments of the business whenever there are changes such as introducing new equipment or new products. So this might be the reason people are leaving, because when new dynamic change they adapt, some people can't cope up with, so they might leave from the company. Then we move on to the next part. Currently TT only sells its products in country Y, but it plans to expand into country Z and become a multinational company. TT could buy a toy manufacturer located in country Z or build its own factory there. The government of country Z will need to give permission for TT to build a new factory. Either option will cost 10 million. The directors are worried about liquidity as TT expands. So now we saw a question on question number 4, that if they can expand into the Z country, then of course what are the possibility advantages? There are a lot of numerous advantages, like they can expand their business, they can make a new customer base, they can sell their products easily, people will know there's a product called TT, they can create a brand image, they can also increase the sales, they can increase the profit. So much of things we can write on question number 4 B. So directors are worried about liquidity as TT expands. So if you are going to expand your business, you need to have $10 million. That's not a small amount. So to expand in that way, what is the way they can do? All these things we're going to discuss in this question. TT has developed a new toy for children under 5. The toy is a soft, easy to hold doll which speaks 4 different languages. So they have brought a creative product and a unique one where the toy can speak 4 languages, and it's a toy which is made less than 5 years. Marketing director thinks this new toy will help TT expand into country Z, as there are no other products like in that country. So they're saying that this is a good opportunity because this product is not there in the market. So if they can bring that product to that particular country, they can easily sell the product to outside. TT is recruiting a new marketing manager for country Z. Details of the shortlist applicants are in Appendix 3. The marketing department now has already carried out research in country Z, and some results are shown in Appendix 1. So let's see what are the charts they are given. Based on that, we can take decision. Appendix 1, market research results for country Z. Chart 1 says that age structure of the 200 million population. Remember guys, when you are doing this paper, you should be having a very much patience to read the question and then to take those questions and write it. Sometimes I might take 1 hour 30 minutes to do this video, sometimes more than that, it doesn't matter, but you all need to finish this paper within 1.5 hours, because I'm explaining everything and doing the paper with you all. But when you all are doing the paper, you don't do that, you don't explain to anyone, you just start writing on your own. So I don't think that you will take that much of time to do this paper if you properly practice it. So age structure of the population 200 million, there 20% is 61, under 5 10% they are saying, and 5 to 20 30% of the population, and 21 to 60 40% of the population. 61 plus is 20%. So this is the age of the people. So based on this age, you can sell the products to them. But there's 10% of children they are in the market, not high compared to the old rate or the mid-range rate, but still it's a good comparable rate, because you'll have an understanding how much people are there in order to sell. Now I'm explaining you each and every chart because we're going to write 12 mark 8 mark answer on these charts. Chart 2 gives you a complete idea about unemployment rate. So this gives you an opinion, understanding about how much people are there in the country working, and how much people you can take them, give them opportunities and recruit them at the lowest cost. Then the chart 3 speaks about distribution channel for toys. There are three categorization they are divided. So in toy shops you can sell 70%, in online you can sell 20%, in other shops you have 10%. So toy shops are high, and you can easily sell directly through toy shops. So the amount you need to invest in toy shops will be very high, because you need to have a physical location to do that than online, because customers on country Z is not considering online or other shops that much, it is not giving. So chart 4, market share of existing toy companies. We have company A 34%, company B 33%, and company C 33%. One thing you can understand out of this question, that these three companies are actually taking the entire market. So you are the fourth company who's going to go inside TT to take a share of this market. I don't think they will let you in that soon, but then you need to work hard to get that market share. So it's going to be a very tough competitive market, but making your name inside this market, because they are not said others. These three companies taking the entire market can be an oligopoly market. You should be able to, what's oligopoly? Few sellers taking the entire market. So here that is happening. So as a firm, you should be very seriously concerned about the prices you're going to charge in this market. So moving on to the next appendix 2, we can understand the statement of financial position of 2021 and 2022 at 31st March. We have inventories 2022 5 million. Accounts receivables debtors was 5 million, 8 million, so it has increased. Cash was 0 and it is now 2 million. Accounts payable was 4 million and it's now 5 million. Bank overdraft is 1 million, now it is 0 million. Long-term bank loan is 5 million, now it's 10 million. Shareholders equity is 40 million, now it is 50 million. Current ratio is 2 million and it is question mark, so you need to find out what type of current ratio is it. Asset test ratio is 1 million and now it is question mark. 3 applicants for marketing manager for country Z. So there are 3 applicants, we need to find it out, and based on this applicant who is qualified enough to get into our company, we should be able to say. So qualifications and skill, 10 IGCSEs and 3 A levels, speaks 2 languages. Experience, 5 years working for TT as the assistant marketing manager in country. So he have already a background about the knowledge and the perspective about the market. So he might have some sort of compatibility to sell the product, but then that's not enough, because he does not have any idea about country Z. So let's see Shaheen, 5 IGCSEs and 2 A levels, degree in business management. He has qualified a bachelor's, a good thing. 2 years at marketing manager of small food company in country Z. Now the problem is this person is from a different industry. Food and toys is not going to tally. So this Shaheen might be somewhat great, but then he has a good qualification, and also he's a marketing manager, so not an assistant marketing manager. So the weight of his profile is high, but then he is working in a small food company. That means he have no idea about the toys. So let's move on to the next part. 8 IGCSE, speaks 6 languages, so it's a good thing because he speaks more languages. 10 years as marketing manager of a large toy company in countrywide. So he has a big idea about, because he has worked in different companies. Now in all these 3 contexts of answers, you can take any one out of this, but your answer should be plus point why you should take this particular person. Now if you see this, Samiha doesn't have A levels, but they have a good knowledge about the market, and also marketing manager of a bigger company, so he has very much experience. So rather than business management, Shaheen or Labiba, I'm going to speak about Samiha. Though they have less educational knowledge, the experience is more than enough for them to qualify under this field. So let's move on to the question and start writing the answers. I hope you guys understood the entire case study. Now this is about answering one by one question, and I hope you guys will keep yourself concentrated on question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4. Let's start now, guys. So in way 1, I can write about internal growth, because I said on the first itself that there are 2 types of growth they can make. One is the internal, the other one is the external. So let's start with the internal growth. So internal growth, the business can grow actually through the inside capacity. So they can expand the business by using the retained earnings. The TT business can raise money from the retained earnings to grow the company, and also develop new products to increase the market share. To increase the market share. Not only this, you can also write one more point. The company can also diversify their products in the existing market. So now you can see this. Now you can ask me, sir, is it correct? Because diversification comes under external part. How can we take it as an internal thing? Because they are diversifying their product from the company. Most probably they make the same product in different brands, and they are trying to ensure that this brand goes in different ways to the market. So people will not know that this is the same product and this belongs to this particular company. So this gives them an internal growth. For example, if you take Unilever, has a lot of detergents, starting with Surf Excel. They have so much of things: Surf Excel, Tide, Ariel. So I'm not sure about this. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So if they have a lot of products under them, yeah, they have Ring, they have Surf Excel, they have Tide. So I'm sure about it. This Sunlight, yeah, Sunlight. So these four products are, they are detergents, but the way they are advertising in the market is completely different. People think that these four products are different for companies, but actually these four products belongs to this particular company. That's how they diversify in a different way. So let's move on to the second growth. We can say external growth. So now I hope you guys have written the first one, but then I'll move on to the explanation point. How do we consider it as an external growth? External growth can be any type of integrations, like you are merging between another firm or acquiring another firm also comes under this part. So in an external growth, I can give them a suggestion. TT can grow by doing a vertical integration or a horizontal integration. So or even like conglomerate can be a better one, but then I will give you a small explanation here. As you have already written this part, I'm going to write two answers here. One is the external growth. So let's write external growth as the second way. And then under explanation, the company or TT can integrate their business with the relevant business in the relevant industry. So what else you can write? Industry. TT can integrate the business in the relevant industry under horizontal integration, where one firms with similar product merges, acquire another firm. One firms with similar product or one firm with similar product is acquired. So the better term is acquired. So this is horizontal integration, but I'm not yet done. Okay. Or under vertical integration, where firm that TT acquires a buyer of the product. What is that vertical? When you buy the buyer, we say it as vertical forward integration, or the supplier who makes toys. So this is what you say backward vertical backward. The company also can grow by merging with other firms. So we can speak about joint ventures, acquisition, and also licensing, franchising. So much of things you can write. So I wrote only this part, integration, and I hope you guys got this. Here on first way we did the internal growth. In second we gave an external growth, and also explained you how a business can integrate the business but with another industry. And when they are involving with another industry, they can actually increase the number of way they move on to the channel of communication. So here they have vertical integration, forward and backward. Forward means you are buying a retailer who are selling the toys to some customers, maybe like a a place where you have all the toys. You buy that particular company who is selling the toys to the correct customer, so you can directly do that work now without relying on them. And also if you can buy a supplier who is making the toys basic parts, if you can buy them, you can save a lot of cost because you have bought a complete supplier. So I hope you guys understood the first one. So let's move on to the second part of the question. So what do we have? So I'm going to erase this off, guys. I'll read it for you. TT can integrate the business in the relevant industry under horizontal integration, where one firm with similar products acquired a vertical integration. A vertical integration where TT acquires a buyer of the product vertical forward or the supplier who makes toys vertical backward. The company also can grow by merging with other firms. And also I have said in this answer about horizontal integration. One similar firm is acquiring another similar firm. We said as horizontal integration. That's a good type of acquisition because that will give a lot of chances to succeed in the market. So moving on to the next part of the sum, next part of the question, because if it is accounting, I say sum. If it is business studies, I say it's a question. Consider how TT might benefit from the following three economies of scale as it continues to grow, which is likely to have the greatest effect on TT's profit. Justify answer: purchasing, technical, financial. So now I'm going to speak about all these three. By purchasing, what is the amount of economies of scale they can achieve? Technical, what are the economies of scale they can achieve? And financial, what are the economies of scale they can achieve? So let me start with the first one, purchasing. You all need to understand that it's not a rocket science, guys. It's very easy. You just need to write the advantages. If you buy, first of all, you need to know the economies of scale. I explained you on the beginning of the video. Economies of scale is where you lower the cost of production, increase the amount of profit, because you are trying to take the efficiency usage from the products what you sell. Or when you make the products, you ensure that you are achieving economies of scale by maximum utilization of the resources. So now here there are three types of things: purchasing, technical, and financial. The first one is purchasing. How do we achieve economies of scale in purchasing? When you purchase a product, you should always buy a product with a cheap supplier. When you buy from a cheap supplier, you can get a lot of bulk discount. And also these products, however, will bring a lot of money. But not only the thing, they're not asking what are the bad effects, they're asking what are the possible greatest effects. So in long term you will have a lot of money, a lot of revenues you will create, so that will give the business to expand in a greater way. So let's start writing the purchasing economies of scale. When purchasing, the company must find suppliers who supply at the lowest cost. This enhances TT to increase the profit of the business in long term. The business, so when purchasing, the company must find suppliers who supply at the lowest cost. This enhances TET to increase the profit of the business in long term. The business also receives bulk discount when they purchase in larger quantities. This will lead to economies of scale. Hope you guys understood. And then we'll move on to the next part of the sum. It says technical economies of scale. So how come a technology improve economies of scale? Think guys in positive way. If you guys have good technology, it will speed up the process, it will increase the productivity, it will also bring more output to the company. So more outputs, lower cost, it will also decrease the cost because of the efficiency and the speed. And when it is producing it in an abundant way, you can also be competitive, and it will increase the amount of profits and achieve economies of scale. So let's write technical economies of scale. I'll erase it off. Let me read this off for purchasing. No, I erased it. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next part. Technical economies of scale can be this will new technologies. You can write new technologies can bring more productivity in TT. New machines will be fast in completing toys, and this will increase the output. So you might see that new technologies will increase productivity, and also it will increase the output. So in overall, we can say that if you have more products we are producing, you can make more profit out of it. But then this is not enough for you all to write answer on the new technology. So we need to write few more points. We can say here they are using a. We can say here they are using a flow production. So TT uses flow production. This system is easy to use because one product is produced to the entire market. So I'll write here, this system is easy to use, and this will help to achieve efficiency by lowering the cost of production. Then we have financial. So now in financial terms, if I speak, how do you achieve economies of scale? So if you have enough finance, what are the ways you can expand? All these things you can, you don't want to learn these things and by heart. Business studies is not a subject to by heart. So you just need to write down what you know, and it's very easy to bring out the points from the finance background. So let's move on to this question and explain how it works. But before we move on, you just need to know technology. New technologies can bring more productivity in TT. New machines will be fast in competing toys, and this will increase the output. TT uses flow production. The system is easy to use, and this will help to achieve efficiency by lowering the cost of production. So we move on to the next part now. So here we can say how finance is going to help us. If you achieve financial economies of scale, you can get loans at a lower rate. So receiving finance at lowest rates will help the business to expand in a greater way. So when I say finance, it can be anything: ordinary shares or bank loan interest. Business TT can see which source of finance is cheaper and available at lowest rate of return, lowest rate of return in payment. So if they can find out the lowest rate and cheaper, then of course they can expand it in a greater way, and that will help the business to go through the risk. This will reduce the risk of the business, reduce the level of debts in risk, where the TT or where TT business will be able to run organization smoothly. So these points are more than enough you all to take technical economies of scale, financial economies of scale, and then purchasing economies of scale. Now you need to say which one is the better, and giving a conclusion is always better. So from all these three, the first thing I can say, I'm going to speak about the purchase side, because purchase is the initial point. If you can buy the products at the lowest cost, you can sell at a higher way, you can increase, you can make a earning. From that earning you can purchase technologies, and not only that, when you purchase technologies will raise more money, and that will actually not put the company into problem under finance. So I'm going to move on with the purchase. If you have your own opinion, you can always argue technical is better, financial is better, purchasing is better. Your opinion is yours, so you can write whatever you feel. But on my opinion, I'm saying that purchasing is much better. So I'm going to move on to that point and explain you why it is better compared to all these three. So I'll erase this off, guys. Good return. So I'll write here, purchase economies of scale provides a greatest effect in TT's profit compared to technology and finance. So I gave my conclusion. I'm not stopping here, and I should say why I'm giving technology is better and finance is better. So you should say, in technology, TT must do maintenance, TT must maintain its machines. It might lead to maintenance cost, and if the machines breaks, that will also lead to interruption. Whereas finance will lead to lose out cash from the business. Whereas finance will lead to lose out cash from the business, as the business will rely, as TT will rely on outside finance. So here the business also will lose some money because they need to pay back the debts, and there's a risk of increasing debts for the company. The risk of increasing debt for the company and be there. So we can take this into consideration. In purchasing, it doesn't happen. At initial, in purchasing, the business saves money at initial point, purchase point, through large discount and cheap suppliers. From the above, we can consider that purchasing economies of scale, or you don't want to say that because I already said it provides a greatest effect. So I said purchase economies of scale provides the greatest effect in TT's profit compared to technology and finance. In technology, TT must maintain its machines. It might lead to maintenance costs, and if machines break, that will also lead to interruptions. So I speak about the bad things. In purchasing also you have bad things, but I don't speak about bad things because I wanted to make my answer win in purchasing. That's the reason I'm not speaking about the disadvantages in purchasing. And then you might see, whereas finance will lead to lose out cash from business, as TT will rely on outside finance. The more finance you are taking from outside, the more money will be bleed out, and that will be a problem to the company, because they need to pay that money one day back to the company. So then it says that in purchasing, and also it says the risk of increasing debt for the company in purchasing, the business saves money at initial purchase point through large discounts and cheap suppliers. So if you can, if you are going to speak about one point and argue that this point is going to be great, always remember to give the bad images of finance and technology, and then say the good image of the purchase. So examiner thinks that you know everything on the exam paper. So I hope you guys understood. Let's move on to the question number 2. So I'm gonna move on to the question number 2 here. Explain 2 benefits to TT using lean production methods. Benefit 1 explanation, benefit 2 explanation. Commerce with Mac here today on the second day recording this particular paper, and let's start the second question. Explain 2 benefits to TT using lean production methods. As I already explained on the previous previous recording, I said that lean production methods is very important to reduce the level of wastages in a company, to increase the productivity. So here they are giving you 4 marks for identifying the benefit and explaining you. So you get 1 mark for benefit, 3 marks for explanation. But how do you find it? What is a lean production method? It's about a layout you are carrying out in a company to reduce the level of storages, or to you are making the company in a proper structured manner. That's what we say lean production method. So under this particular thing, I'm going to write, to make it quick and not to make this paper more more complex. We'll start. One is we'll write improving productivity. So you can write as the company, or TT, you can say as TT organization is organized with a proper layout, employees will find it easy to carry out their work. Okay, so then we can write the work. So employees will find it easy to carry out their work. As TT organization is organized with a proper layout, employees will find it easy to carry out their work, and this will increase the level of productivity. So always you need to you need to give a reason, why it is happening. So when you give a benefit, you should be able to clear your benefit with a proper reason. If you write an answer without a reason, you won't get marks in exams. So you should always try to, try to give a understanding about the benefit, understanding and clearly explain about how benefit works in explanation. If your answer, I have seen certain students writing improving productivities where improving the productivity of the company by increasing the output, and then they stop. So you will not be expecting a marks in exams without giving a proper explanation, and you should always say by this only it will increase the productivity. So we move on to the benefit number 2. We can no storage cost, less storage cost. We can also say, like, we can speak about the just-in-time method, is already they are using. They can only order the products when they need. So this will reduce the level of damages in the company's inventories. So I'll write as a company is ordering the goods in need under just-in-time, or you can write just in time. The company can save their storage cost, and also this will decrease the damages the company will go through of inventory. this will completely reduce, or you can say decrease, completely reduce damages of inventories responsibility. So this is an answer which examiner expects when it comes to benefit and also when it comes to explanation. So I hope you guys understood this 8 marks writing of answers, and then we'll move on to the second part of the content. Yeah, guys, so let's move on to the next part of the sum. So now we have, the question, using appendix to and other information, consider TT's financial position. Do you think TT is a good financial position to expand, justify, answer using suitable calculation? As I can't do these calculations in the question area, so what happens is like students do the calculation in this area and they start to explain. Don't do that in exams. You should always be specific in writing answers. You should always write calculation in a rough paper and then write the exact points on the question booklet. So now I'm going to move on to the Excel sheet to show that I'm going to take here the calculation I'm going to do on the particular appendix 2, and then we'll be coming into the question again. So now in Titanic toys we had appendix 2. This is the area we are going to discuss now. You might see that they have inventories 5 million in 2021, 2022 they have 5 million. Account receivables 5 million, it is now 8 million. Cash is 0 and then it is 2 million. So cash has improved. That's a good thing for this company. And then we have accounts payable 4 million. So accounts payable has increased. So current liability is also increasing. Bank order has decreased. So that's a good thing. And long-term loan has increased. Not a good thing. Total shareholders equities has increased 42, 50. And then we have current ratio 2, asset test ratio 1 on 2021. So we can find out the current ratio of 2022 and asset test ratio of 2022 and explain what is the situation of the company's financial position. So now I'm going to calculate the two things. First of all, calculate whatever they have said you to calculate. Then it's easy for you to actually find the difference, actually say the difference, what is happening on the point. So I'm going to write here current ratio and then liquid ratio or asset test ratio. Now on the current ratio, the actual answer is going to be current asset divided by current liabilities. Always remember the formulas. Okay, so when it comes to asset test ratio, we're going to take current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. So now this is for your understanding, guys. You don't want to show this working to the examiner. If you need, you can put it in brackets when you are calculating. But then my perception is not accounting paper. If you can show the workings on the writing answer is good, but you don't have enough space because to explain itself you will take a lot of space. So I don't think showing this under that particular area will be better. So I'm showing this because you all need to know how I'm calculating the ratios. Now we have current ratio. Here you can see we have inventories plus account receivable 5 plus 5 and cash is 0. So I'm going to take 5 plus 5 is 10. So they have already calculated 2021 and they have divided by 4 plus 1 5. That's the reason you got 2. Here you have current ratio, you can see here. In 2022 you got 5 inventories, you got accounts receivable 8 and then you got cash 2. So in total 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. So I'm going to take here 2 is the ratio. So current ratio here is 2021. So how do you present current ratio? 2 is to 1. Here I'm going to take I'm sorry guys, 2 is to, then we have 2022 we can calculate. We got 15 divided by 5 will give you an answer of 3 is to 1. So answer is going to be 3 is to 1. So that is a good situation when it comes to current ratio. They have managed the resources in a proper manner. I know the environment is new. That's the reason my video is not that clear. But no worries, guys. You are not seeing me. You are seeing the answer. So focus on the answer, not my face. So now moving on to the point: current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. So how do you calculate this? I'm going to move on to the sum again and show you how I calculated. So here I have current assets 5, and then accounts receivable 8. Now I need to, I mean, inventory is 5, accounts receivable 8, and cash 2. So I can either take the 15 and minus 5, or either I can take 8 plus 2 directly 10. So here they took only accounts receivable 5 and they divided it by this particular 5. That's the reason they got 1:1 under asset trust ratio. So we are going to do 8 plus 2 because they have a cash reserve here. So it's going to be 10. 10 divided by 5, it's going to be 2. So I'm going to take current asset. You know, how did I take current assets? It was 1:1. 1. Yeah, I'm going to take, how do I know this? I'm going to take 15, sorry, 15 minus 5, which is the current assets inventory. So I'll write inventory. And then we divide by the current liability. So current liability is going to be 5. Bank overdraft plus the trade payables they have given. So it's going to be, 10. So 10 divided by current liabilities is, sorry, I have already taken. So 10 divided by 5, it will give you a ratio of 2:1. If you see the financial position of the business, it is so good. But is there a way we can calculate any other things? I can't calculate profitability ratios because they are not given the net profit of the business. Now you might have a question, so they have given long-term bank loans, they have given the shareholders equity. Can we speak upon this type of things in the paper? Of course you can do, but without disturbing the current ratio and asset test ratio. So I'm going to speak everything of the financial position of the business now. So let's move on to the question. I hope you guys have already seen what I am explaining and how it works here and how it works here. So I explained you when it comes to current ratio, how I calculated the current liabilities. 2:1. 15 divided by 5 is 3:1 in 2022. In current asset, I explained you how it works, where you take current asset, deduct the inventory, and divide by current liabilities. Get 15 minus 5 divided by current liabilities is 10. 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2:1. So now you always need to represent your answers as 2:1, 3:1. That's the way it works when it comes to liquidity ratios. So there are 2 liquidity ratios according to Edexcel, according to your syllabus. So you need to be very concerned about these 2 ratios. So let's move on to the point. Move on to the point. So I have explained your current ratio, how it works, and how we have actually achieved. So now moving on to the question. We have inventories. Now we have calculated these things. I'm going to explain you how it works when it comes to the answer. Now we know the financial position is good. So they are saying justify your answer using suitable calculations. So I'm going to take year by year 2021 and 2022 and explain how it works in all the years. So here I'll write, always remember, in 2021, the business had a current ratio of 1, and so it's better always bring the things which is in the question. Acid test ratio, sorry, current ratio was 2, and acid test ratio of 1. Okay, so you get 1 mark for writing this, and then we move on to the next part. In 2022, or I can say whereas in 2022, the business let me see the years, guys, to be very clear. Yeah, 2021 and 2022. So in 2022, the business has achieved current ratio 3 to 1. And asset test ratio. So what is the asset test ratio, guys? It's 2 to 1. By considering the above change, the business TT has done a great job in managing the finance. The company have raised their trade debtors from 5 million to 8 million. This proves that they have raised their credit sales, and also the company have raised cash of 2 million, which proves the business is having liquid assets to pay their liabilities. So I'm not speaking about rocket science, guys. I'm just speaking what is on the case study. So when I'm when I'm writing the answer, I'm considering I'm myself as you. So if I am a student, this is the answer which I'm going to write. But your answers might be varying because your knowledge is different. You can write the way you like, but to the point which is in the case study. Don't go outside the box and speak bullshit on the exam paper. Examiners want facts when it comes to a calculation answer. So now I spoke about the finance, they are managing it better, and they are somehow we saw that the improvement might be due to the trade debtors from 5 million to 8 million, and also we saw that the credit sales due maybe they have made a good credit sales. They have raised cash of 2 million, and also they are this is showing that they are able to pay the liabilities. On the other side, we can also say the company have paid. So they have paid the we saw this here have paid the let me check. They have long-term bank overdraft 1. You can see here. Now it's 0. So they have paid the bank overdraft, but only accounts trade payables is increasing. So that's somewhat fine. You can pay. So they have paid the bank overdraft, bank overdraft, which will reduce the short-term liabilities the company need to meet. PT need to meet. So we can write PT needs to meet. Awesome, right, guys? So we have explained almost like for 6 months. I spoke about the ratios 3 to 1, 2 to 1. I get 2 marks. Then I speak about the 2021 position 3 marks. And then I speak about the trade receivables 4 marks. Then I speak about the cash reserve 5 marks. Then I explain you how it works 6 marks. Now I'm speaking about bank order 7 marks. I have scored just within few lines of answer. Now you need to TT needs to meet. Okay. So now we are going to speak about the investments of the ordinary share capital, and also we're going to speak about the long-term loan. So investors has put from 40 million to 50 million, so they have raised investment. So this will reduce the level of dividends in long term. They might lose profits, and on the other side, they will you should be very concerned about the bank loan they have taken, because on this case study they have said that they have raised a bank loan from 5 million to 10 million. You can see here, which is not a good thing they have done. So though they have reduced the short-term liabilities, the long-term liabilities of the business is in a bit risky. So I'm going to write about that now. The business has raised 10 million of ordinary shares and we can also say and 5 million of bank loan. In long term, the business will pay dividends which will reduce the level of profits which can be upheld under retained earnings. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is like the business has raised 10 million of ordinary shares and 5 million of bank loan. In long term, we say they need to pay the dividends for the owners. What is dividend? The owners' payment for the investment they have made. So when you pay the dividends, the money, you are actually losing out your return earnings. So what is return earning? The money you can save for the business expansion. Now when you pay all your profits for the shareholders, you're losing actually money. So that is leaking the company's stake. So it is not a good thing in long term, but it's okay to raise money because it's a internal finance. So we can write because it's an internal finance generation. The business will not go through a risk. Not go through a risk. But so they have given you enough explanation, but I think I don't have enough space to write it down. So I'm gonna make this page smaller so that I can write few more points. I can write only this much points. So let me make it bigger. So now I spoke about in 2021 the business had a current ratio of 2 and asset test ratio of 1. Whereas in 2022 the business has achieved current ratio of 3 is to 1 and asset test ratio 2 is to 1. By considering the above the change, the TT has done a great job in managing the finance. The company have raised their creditors from 5 million to 8 million. This proves that they have raised their credit sales, and also the company has raised cash of 2 million, which proves the business is having liquid assets to pay their liabilities. On the other side, the company have paid the bank overdraft, which will reduce the short-term liabilities. TT needs to meet the business. TT needs to meet. The business has raised 10 million of ordinary shares and 5 million of bank loan. In long term, the business will pay. In long term, the business will pay. Yeah. Dividends which will reduce the level of profits which can be upheld under retained earnings because it's internal finance generation uh, or generation of finance. The business will not go through a risk, but you can also say, so I have already explained you the last few points I'm going to write. So if I'm going to erase it off because I don't have enough space to write, so I'm going to write the last part. So I'm going to erase this off. So you can see the video guys again if you can go back. So after writing the last point only, I'm going to write this. The business bank loan is a kind of a risk as they need to pay bank loan interest in long term. Okay, so now we already planned to give a normal answer. So when we pay interest, we are losing the profit. So interest payment will reduce the level of profits. Profits. So I'm going to speak in overall about the business. In current ratio, they have managed it properly because we saw that inventories were the same. Most probably, they didn't stock much inventories. You can see here. So it's going to be the same. So they are not. And the situation of the current ratio and liquid asset ratio is awesome. They have managed it in a proper way. So in overall, I'm going to say, in overall, this is the final conclusion, guys. You need to write business has done a great job in managing the finance. Okay, and you can write the financial position. Position. Now, this is the final answer I'm giving because in this question they're asking, do you think TT is in a good financial position to expand? So, of course, the financial position of the business sounds good in expansion. Sounds good in order to expand. So I explained my suitable calculations. I provide justify answer using suitable calculations. So we did a suitable calculation, but I didn't show the calculation inside the brackets. But somehow I managed to show the ratios. If you want to show the calculations, always remember when I wrote the acid test ratio 3:1. Put your answers in this way: 15 divided by 5. So that gives you, I mean, the current ratio 15 divided by 5. So the examiner knows that you have taken 15 as current asset and 5 as current liabilities. If you want to show that it's current assets, put CA here and CL here. So this is how you use your time and your calculation efficiently. So I hope you understood the question number 2 also. Let me come up on another video and explain you question number 3 and 4. Because already this video is lengthy, I don't want to take it big. And if you like this video, guys, I have planned to upload a lot of past papers. Subscribe the channel, which will make me motivated to give you more past papers in future. See you guys on question number 3 and 4 very soon.